Hi guys, I'm Cash with CashedOutCars, and in today's video we're going to be installing an eBay intake on my Miata. Let's get started. Alright guys, so this is what the intake looks like installed. Visually, I actually think it looks really good. It does free up a lot of space in your engine bay, and the red matches my car very nicely. There's this plastic piece in here that basically is an adapter to let this intake mount right to your airflow meter. It works pretty good. It's definitely a cheap piece of plastic, and you really should put a gasket between the metal flange here and that plastic piece if you want a good seal, but that's that. The intake does actually make a pretty significant difference in sound, especially when you're right up close to the intake. You can definitely hear the air rushing through it, and it sounds a lot different than the airbox. With all that said, it is definitely a pretty cheap filter, and I don't know if I would trust it for too long. And also, this intake sort of just flaps around in here, and it doesn't come with any mounting kit, so you will have to make a custom kit yourself. I'm just going to make up a quick bracket here that goes from that bracket over to that mount there, just to get this thing held on so we could go out there and do a comparison between this and the stock intake. Alright guys, so now I just made up this custom bracket to mount this intake. Basically I just took a piece of bar stock and bent the ends over and drilled holes in them at the correct height to hold that intake up away from both this shock adjuster and the master cylinder and brake line, so it doesn't make contact there. Now I'm going to try to install this thing right here, see how the clearances look, and then we will go from there. Alright guys, the custom bracket is installed, as you can see here. It works very well. There is the perfect amount of clearance between the filter and the shock mount there and the shock tower, and there's also a perfect amount of clearance between the filter and the master cylinder over there. With that said, it really could use more than that one bracket because it still could bounce around a decent amount with that, just because it's one bracket and there really should be more. I'm going to start it up and see how much it bounces around. As you just saw, I started it up, and honestly, the clearances are still pretty much perfect. In the video that I took, you could see that the engine was torquing, but the filter was pretty much staying in the same spot, and honestly, everything looks really good. The last little modification that I had to make here is to bend that bar that holds up the hood. I had to do that to basically shape it around this intake ducting there, and that basically makes it so this doesn't run into the intake and push it back into those brake lines. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video. That eBay intake is really actually not too bad, especially for the price. I paid $13 for that with the filter and the adapter. So, all in all, not too bad. It did require some modifications and some custom parts, like bending up that hood bar and also making the custom bracket to mount the intake. But all in all, pretty easy installation, and it makes the car sound a lot better. It has a much deeper tone now, which I didn't really expect from just putting an intake on. But all in all, I like it. Do I think it makes more power? Not really. I can't really feel anything different driving around the car, so if it does make more power, it's slight. If it makes less power, it's slight. With all that said, please like this video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and I hope you stick around for the next one.